NHC GONZO division reporting for duty. We're at ICW's insane asylum, where all the magic happens, where the training's done, to interview entrepreneurial legend and ICW founder, owner and boss, Mark Dallas. Come with me. So I'm at the ICW training asylum in the ring with boss Mark Dallas.
How you doing, mate?
You might call this a wrestling fan's paradise. We've got folding chairs, we've got the ring, we've got corners for wrestlers to cut their promos, all the flyers, everything. And we're going to be talking to Mark Dallas about insane championship wrestling. So I thought we'd start off with basic stuff first, getting into rhythm. What was the spark that led to all this? What was the fruition of ICW wrestling?
Was just a fan of a lot of entertainment that was out there in the late 90s, early 2000s, like your Jackasses, South Parks, Jerry Springer. Entertainment went very, the mainstream was all non-mainstream stuff, skateboard and stuff like that. And everything was all about shock value and car crash TV. I loved all that shit. And then the world kind of changed and it all became reality TV, and then it all kind of had to become a bit more censored and stuff, and I just was like, it's nothing really entertaining anymore. Wrestling was the exact same. You had Stone Cold, The Rock and all that, flicking the finger, drinking beer, telling people you suck it and all that. And then all of a sudden it's John Cena and all this, which isn't bad because that's good for kids. Like, I mean, if we didn't watch Hulk Hogan when we were kids, then do you know what I mean? But there was just nothing that entertained me. ECW shut down stuff, so decided to try and run a wrestling promotion.
Do it yourself.
Try to.
DIY wrestling.
That's it, mate. That's it.
And so, apart from the insane aspect and the hardcore brutality, how would you say ICW differs from other wrestling promotions?
ICW doesn't insult your intelligence. ICW, it's like you can go there when you're an adult and not be embarrassed to be there. You can go there and watch you can be there for the stunts, you can be there for the comedy, you can be there for the athleticism. There's something for everybody. It's like the three-ring circus. Everybody hears the name Insane Championship Wrestling and then they immediately assume it's just going to be blood and violence and all that. And there is that, because it is Insane Championship Wrestling, but there's also all this other stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a light-hearted aspect too.
Totally, it is escapism. Life is hard, the world's a harsh place, you've got all these worries. How good would it be to go for a night and just escape reality and cheer and boo? Somebody threw a shoe once at somebody, didn't like them that much. Like, that's, if I'm going to throw a shoe at some cunt, it's a good day. We never gave him the shoe back. It was like, fuck you, man, why are you throwing a shoe at us? That's a bit much.
And what's your thoughts on, not so much the WE, but more like TNA style companies?
TNA, I don't know how they're going to recover from what's happened to them elsewhere. I think maybe when they went to Destination America and American television, it was still possible that they could have held it together, but now, I don't know if they're leaving that channel. Maybe they're staying on, but it just doesn't seem like it's ending like it was a couple of years ago, which is a shame because there is good workers there. Even a couple of my friends are there, and there's people I know there that are nice people. Jeremy Borash came to a couple of ICW shows because there was some our wrestlers on that British boot camp that was on Challenge TV, so they used some of their footage. So I know some of them and I've sat and drank with some of them, and they're nice guys, and there's good workers and there's people with wrestling brains there. It's just maybe it's just the people in charge don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah. If you could poach any wrestler from their roster who is active, who would you poach?
For TNA?
Yeah. Hypothetically, if you could just overnight poach anyone in their wrestling.
Kurt Angle probably.
Kurt Angle?
Aye.
Are you a fan of Angle?
Aye. I don't really think he should be working anywhere near as much, I think, because of how physical he still has been in the years. But you can still use him once or twice for like a marquee match, and I would sell. People would go nuts for that. People buy tickets to see Kurt Angle.
He's just about to go into MMA, isn't he?
He's always said that, isn't he?
Get his ass kicked, maybe.
He's always said that. He won't, I don't think he'll pass the physical for anyway, would he?
Well, they were saying he would be one of the oldest members.
It would be
of the
horrible.
house.
I think I'd hate for something. It'd be horrible, man. You know what I mean? Like, whoever's like in charge of that MMA thing, please don't let that guy fight
Don't
some-
let Kurt Angle join MMA. Let him join ICW.
Aye, we'll take care of him, man. We don't have somebody pummel him, man. Horrible.
Have you ever had any aspirations yourself, or even been a wrestler at any point?
I did train when I was younger, when I was about 15. Trained for a couple of years. That was when there was no Scottish wrestling scene, so the people that were there at the very start of it was me, a guy called Mike Musso, a couple of guys. Drew Galloway eventually came, and then like a couple of guys like Kid Fight, Red Lightning. That's people that are still in the business that I just mentioned there. So we were there for the very start of Scottish wrestling. However, I wasn't really a fan of some of the trainers, thought they were dicks. Back then there wasn't a scene, so like any training was better than their training. The guys that were training weren't up to snuff. They shouldn't have been training people.
Yeah.
And fucking, I ended up bailing, man, before it really happened. But the time when everything started to happen, so we trained for a while, but at the time it got around to starting to run, what the company's starting to run shows and stuff that were existing at that point, I'd bailed, man, because I was like, I was very interested in flying like the birds and going to dance, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, fuck this. Because I thought it would be cool to be like American wrestling, and I went there and I was like, well, this isn't what American wrestling at all. Check Nick and this shit, man. And fucking, then I bailed, but then eventually I came back because I had friends obviously for training, but not to wrestle, but I have wrestled at like the garage with the main event against a guy called Jackie Polo about 2 years ago. And I broke my wrist. He broke my fucking wrist and my ribs. And bruised my spleen. Like, the doctor went, we need to get an ultrasound or something like that. And I went, why, I'm not pregnant? And she's like, no, you've severely bruised or ruptured your spleen. And I'm like,
That sounds painful.
alright. It was pure, it was purple. So, and then that's about it. But I'm not really a wrestler, like, just, that's how I knew all the wrestlers. So when I came to start promoting, I already knew where to get a wrestling ring for, where to get workers.
So it's kind of a natural progression then?
I always had it in my mind that I wanted to be a wrestling promoter. Grado loves telling a story when we were training. He used to be called Chipmunk. I don't know why, that was his nickname, right? He was called Chipmunk, and it was like, we were about 15, 16, come back for training. He says I would tell a story about how I'm going to have this hardcore wrestling promotion, and I'm going to get New Jack to work for me and all that. It's going to be amazing, and fucking, you can work for me, Chipmunk and all that. And then it was like no danger, it actually ended up happening. Like Chipmunk works for me now. And we've not got New Jack though.
No.
I don't think he can get in the country. He's a murderer, isn't he? Do you know shoot a guy?
I did it.